Don't forget to go to ashkicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance products.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
The deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? First things first, condolences goes out to all the victims that lost their lives in this mass shooting out here in Las Vegas. As you guys probably already know, it's been reported that 58 have already lost their lives from this shooting, and by the time this video is uploaded, I'm sure the death toll is going to be higher. Well, we didn't really came a long way since the Columbine shooting, huh? It seems like these mass shootings, they just continue to exacerbate. They get worse and worse. The death toll gets higher and higher every shooting. The killer's name is Stephen Paddock. He actually shot himself, committed suicide right when the SWAT team were breaching the door of his room in the Mandalay Bay Hotel. So as this picture illustrates right here, you see the Mandalay Bay. That's where Stephen was at. He was on the 32nd floor shooting down at people at this concert over there at the Las Vegas Village. Coincidentally, that is almost exactly where we were at to pick up our credentials for the Mayweather-McGregor fight. Right in that area, there was a tent right there where all the media members went to go pick up their credentials. Now, me personally, I was told about this news about 5 in the morning by my kids. My older son, he told me that there was a shooting on the Strip, and he said 50 people were dead. Now, when he told me this, I thought maybe he just didn't know the full detail. I said, no way, 50 people got killed, right? So sure enough, I looked it up, and unfortunately, he was right. It turned out to be true. Now, Donald Trump, of course, he reacted to this news. And of course, he drowned himself in hypocrisy, as he always does. In response to this news, Donald Trump, he said, "It is love that defines us." It's ironic that he would say that when it comes to a killer like Stephen Paddock killing over 58 people. But when black NFL football players protest against injustices in the country, they're called sons of bitches. But he doesn't call the Nazis that were marching in Charlotte sons of bitches, and he doesn't call this man that killed over 58 people a son of a bitch. So Donald Trump gives this shooter the same respect that Dylan Roof got after he killed 9 black people that were at Bible study in church. What a coincidence. You know, regardless if you're religious or not, it's amazing the prophecies and the predictions that are in the Bible. I'm talking about 2,000 years ago. I mean, even if you want to look at some of the things that are said as just metaphors or whatever, one thing you cannot deny is how accurate they were with predictions. We've all heard them talk about the last days in the Bible, where they talk about the devil just popping up, emerging out of nowhere, killing people in broad daylight. And as a kid, you know, you really thinking it's the actual devil, right? But once again, a lot of this can be interpreted as metaphorically speaking. And we are getting and we are seeing exactly what was transcribed in that Bible. I mean, what are they going to do about these mass shootings that once again continue to exacerbate? We often hear Republicans talk about shootings in Chicago. But what are you going to do about these shootings? Because this happens all across the country, right? Everyone doesn't live in Chicago. But when this kind of stuff happens, it can happen anywhere. It doesn't matter if you live in a good neighborhood, you live in a bad neighborhood. All you have to do is be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, you could be a 7-year-old elementary student just at school. You could be at church praying. You could be at the movies with your family enjoying a great movie. Or you can be at a concert. But see, when you look at the contrast and you look at Chicago, you can move out of Chicago. You can move out of that city if you want. You don't even have to leave the city. You can move on another block. You can move on the other side of town. You can move to a different city, right? You can leave the state entirely if you want. But when it comes to these type of shootings, how do we protect ourselves from them? Because they have no motive. And this is basically what you call the work of the devil. You have no motive. This is not revenge on anyone. This is not personal. This is sheer evil and the true definition of evil. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.